Hi guys, Andy here again from Mad Lad Designs, continuing the playthrough of Dungeon Command, Curse of Undeath versus the Sting of Lolth. But first, I have a small correction to make. At the end of last episode, I drew back up to Alessandra's creature hand, which I thought was 5. Of course it isn't, it's actually 4. It's the starting order hand that was 5. So the card I picked up with the Demon Web Spider will actually go back on the creature stack. Like so. Leaving with us just the 4. Which we should have had in the first place. So, starting with the Curse of the Undeath. We start with the sequence of play, and this is the sequence of play. Refresh. Then activate your creatures. Then increase the leadership and place any new creatures on the battlefield. And then finally resolve end of turn effects and draw back up to your creature hand. So our refresh phase is resolve start of turn effects. Untap your creatures and draw 1 order card. So we're going to resolve any start of turn effects. And as we can see here, the Disciple of Caius, or Cus, or however it's pronounced, does have a starting turn effect, which says deal 10 damage to this creature at the start of its controller's turn. So the Disciple is automatically going to take 10 points of damage at the start of the turn. And now they need to draw an order card. Let's take a look. Drawing an order card, but of course I'm not going to show you it. Right, put that there. So we will begin with the Disciple. Not happy that his best bud, the Tomb Guardian, has been destroyed. He's going to wade in right in the middle of them. Now when you're next to an enemy creature, you can only move 1 square. And that is what he's going to do. Right in the middle. And instead of his standard attack, he's actually going to use an order card. Vampiric Touch. As you can see, it says standard, which takes the place of the normal attack that's on the card. That's on the creature card, I should say. And this is what he's going to do. Okay, it has Vampire Affinity. I'll come back to that in a second, but we need at least level 3 intelligence in order to be able to use this. And the Disciple of Caius has a level 4, so you can indeed use this Vampiric Touch order card. Okay, so we have enough there for our creature to use it. Vampire Affinity, which what this means is that any creature card that has, I'll just grab this Tomb Guardian just to show you, if you pick it up. Each creature card has a certain number of things on it like this. So this is a humanoid undead skeleton. Now if it was a vampire, if it said up here vampire, then this would not matter. So any card, any creature card that has a vampire trait on it can completely ignore this and it can be used. So any type of vampire can use it, but any other creature has to have an intelligence of 3. So I'll just put this back because this has been destroyed. So we have level 3 and our Disciple has, it's not a vampire, so that doesn't matter. Okay. Make a melee attack that deals 30 damage. If this target takes damage from this attack, this creature heals 30 damage. And we have 40 on the Disciple, 40 points of damage, so he's going to attack with this. So the Drow Priestess is going to take 30 points of damage. I'm just going to put those on there for now, but does Alessandra have an order card that can prevent that damage? Let's take a look at the Drow order cards. We have Stalk, Nope, that's not going to prevent any damage. Fire trap, that's not going to prevent any damage. Near miss, here we go. 2 dexterity. So does the Drow priestess have 2 dexterity? She certainly does. She has level 3 dex. So we can actually use this near miss card to prevent 20 damage to this creature, and then we can untap this creature, because normally if you're using an immediate card, do we have any others? Oh, we have close call, prevent 40. 3 dex, and she does have 3 dex. This one might be better, I think, because if we can prevent all damage, then that vampiric touch, I'll show you that. If the target takes damage from this attack, this will prevent all the damage because it's only 30 damage. So the disciple will not heal 30. So yes, I think we're going to use that. But she stays tapped when she uses it. When you use an immediate card, that creature is tapped, so then it can't be, you can't use any more order cards on a tapped creature. So I'm going to use close call. So the disciple uses the vampiric touch on the Drow priestess. However, the Drow priestess prevents it using close call. So that 30 points of damage doesn't actually get through. Take that back off. And because she's used an immediate card, she becomes tapped. However, the disciple is not finished yet. Each enemy takes 10 damage whenever it ends its activation adjacent to this creature. I read that wrong. I assumed that the disciple would deal out 10 damage to everybody around him, but it's not. It's only when an enemy ends its activation phase next to the creature. So the disciple rushing in the middle of everything might not have been the best thing to do. Right, well, the disciple of Caius, his turn has ended. Shouldn't have went in the middle of those, but there you go. Make sure you read the cards, or things could go from bad to worse. Anyway, next up is the zombie. So all the zombie's going to do is move forward, grab the treasure, which means Morgana's morale is going to move up another one. 13. The zombie is not quite finished yet because he's going to use Spawn of Caius. It's a minor, so you can use as many minors as you like. It doesn't cost any actions, but we do have to have a level 1 constitution and level 1 constitution. Yeah, so the zombie can definitely use this card. Requires undead. I think the zombie could possibly be undead. Yep, so it requires undead. Attach this card to this creature. Each enemy takes 10 damage whenever it ends its activation adjacent to this creature. So this does the same thing as the Disciple of Caius' special ability. So if anything ends its turn next to the zombie, like it does with the Disciple, it's going to automatically take 10 damage. So I'm going to pop that under the zombie's card, and the zombie has moved and taken an action, so he is tapped. Moving on to the deploy phase. Can never say that. The deploy phase. Her leadership goes from 9 to 10. So Morgana's leadership is 10. And we can have 10 points worth of creatures on the board. And at the moment we have 4, 5. So we've got 5 creatures worth, 5 levels worth I should say, to be able to place out on the board. And Morgana is indeed going to send forth more evil undead in the form of the Lich Necromancer. So when I deploy any undead creature, I can place it next to this Necromancer. Okay, so we have that. Grab the Necromancer, who looks like this. There you go. And he will be placed in the starting area. Possibly there. Okay, so that is end of the deploy phase. We do the cleanup phase. Resolve any end of turn effects. We do not have any end of turn effects. Draw back up to your creature hand. Morgana's creature hand is 3. She only has 2. So we're going to draw another creature. Okay, right. And then we untap any creatures that are tapped. So we can untap the zombie. And we can untap the disciple. And I think that is the end of Morgana's turn. And we're going to move on now to Alessandra. So we begin with the refresh phase. So any start of turn effects where we don't have anything. Nothing attached to the creatures. Next we untap any creatures that are tapped. We do have a tapped creature. And then we draw 1 order card. And we get, so take a look. What's this that we get? Scheme. Level 2 wisdom. Draw 2 order cards. So we just play this to draw another 2 order cards. But it does take the place of an attack action. Okay, so that'll go with our other order cards. So I think we'll begin with our Demon Web Spider. And he's actually going to not attack. He's going to do something different. Now if you look at our spider, he has the scuttle ability. And we're going to, there we go. This creature shifts when it moves, which means that it can go past enemy creatures or move away from enemy creatures using its full speed instead of just 1. So the spider is going to shift, and he's actually going to shift over to this treasure. So he has a speed of 7, but with Alessandra's walls of web adding 2 to the speed, he can move 9, I think, which is more than enough. So he's going to move 1, 2. Anything with a square is considered difficult terrain and also blocks line of sight. So that's going to count as 2 to move onto there. Then he's going to go 3, 4, 5. And for his standard action, he's just going to take a treasure. Which means Alessandra's morale is also going to go up to 13. Next up is the Drow Priestess, and she has a melee attack of 20. So she's not going to... Oh, is she going to move one? Yeah, we'll move a 1. And she's going to attack with a melee of 20. And having a look through the Undead's order cards, they have nothing to prevent it. So 20 melee points are going to get through to the Disciple. So we have... He's now at 60 points worth of damage. And I don't think he's going to get another turn, because at the start of the Undead's turn, this card's going to take effect. Deal 10 damage. Of course, another 10 damage. 70. He only has 70 hit points. So, no matter what happens, I think the Disciple is going to be dead next turn. Unless the House Guard wants to do something about it. Is it worth it? Yeah, go on. The House Guard, the Drow House Guard, is going to do 20 melee points of damage. And as we already know, the Undead doesn't have no order cards to stop it. So, I'm afraid, for you Undead, the Disciple is no more. So the order card can be placed back, but the Disciple is now dead and buried. So Morgana is going to lose 4 morale points. So from 13 down to 9. So now we move on to the deploy phase. So her leadership goes up from 9 to 10. So she can have 10 points worth of creatures on the board. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. The Drow House Guard is 2. The Drow Priestess is 3. And the Demon Web Spider is 1. So she can have another 4 levels worth of creature to bring out. And indeed she is. The Drider. And just like the Demon Web Spider, this can move past creatures. Doesn't have to stop. So we'll bring the Drider out, and I'll make sure this time it goes in the actual start area. However, if we take a look at our Drow Priestess card, when deploying any spider creature, you can place it in an unoccupied square within 5 squares of this creature. So we are bringing out the Drider, and if we look, well, we can definitely see by the picture, but just to be 100% certain, it does have the spider attribute. So the Drider can now be placed within 5 squares of our Drow Priestess. So, where shall we place it? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's dead. I forgot to take him off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. There we go. That's where I'm going to place the Drider. Within 5 squares. And then we untap all our creatures. And then draw back up to our creature hand, which is 4, not 5. So we have 1, 2, 3. Those are the 3 we have left. Grab another card, another creature, and it is another Demon Web Spider. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So there we are. That's the state of play. 2 undead versus 4 drow. Ooh, I don't know. Don't know who's going to win. Morgana's down to 9 morale, where Alessandra still has 13. So that's it for this episode. If you spotted any mistakes, which I'm sure there will be, just let me know. But until next time, thanks for watching. Oh, I mean, see you later, guys. Sorry, Rodney.